Hi there, it's Gabriel here from Mindset Magnetics, and in this video I'm really excited to be sharing with you and to discuss the difference between imagination and knowledge. Two different concepts, but often misunderstood or not understood enough. So how did I come across creating this topic? Why did I create this topic? Well, first of all, I was reading The Law of Success in 16 Lessons, and this is a book I will often come back to in these videos because it's so deep and there's so much information in there that it really opened up so many insights as to the difference between these two concepts. But you've probably heard some quotes over time about, let's say, Einstein saying imagination is more important than knowledge, and you probably brushed over that and said, yeah, if Einstein said it, it's probably right. But why? Have you ever asked why imagination is more important than knowledge? I mean, everybody these days is talking about knowledge, get more knowledge, go to university, go study, get a degree, get more knowledge. Do you think people in university who have gotten degrees are more successful because they got a degree? Maybe, but a lot aren't. A lot of people who go to universities and get more knowledge are just working at McDonald's or working at fast food places and getting paid minimum wage. So it's not really knowledge then, is it? Because knowledge is accessible to all of us. We can go to a library and read thousands of books if we had the time and energy to do that. Knowledge is there. Knowledge is everywhere. We go on the internet. Knowledge is beyond what we could even consume in this lifetime. But imagination is something completely different. Now, before we get into imagination, I want to explain another concept that was covered in The Law of Success by Napoleon Hill. And he mentioned a concept called power. And power, what is power? Well, power is basically, what he says is organized knowledge or organized effort, whichever way you choose to see it. But organized knowledge in this case, basically you can take raw building blocks of knowledge or value or information, and based on the person or the person with intelligence, person with intelligence can rearrange that knowledge into an intelligent way for a specific outcome, and that requires thinking outside the box. So what is thinking outside the box? Well, it's imagination. Imagination is thinking beyond what already is. It's dreaming, it's envisioning, imagination. And this is often the quality that most kids kind of get robbed of in the school years, because we're often taught we gotta be a sponge, we gotta soak up the facts and then regurgitate them on tests. But where's the development of imagination? Where's the development of that? We might have art class, we might develop creativity, but I don't think there's an imagination class. Have you ever been to one? No, I haven't. But we require imagination to really take that knowledge and create something new. Because any idea out there hasn't been created from scratch. It's basically an assembly of different ideas put together in a different way. That's all it is. Every invention out there has basically been pulled from something that already existed out there, either known or unknown. So that's why imagination is so important and it's so different. So everybody can have knowledge, but imagination needs to be developed. And everybody has an imagination, but at different levels of development. So you might have some imagination, but you need to practice imagining. And by creating imagination, that's how the salesman can basically take a plot of land and add more value to it just by imagining what it could be. This is how a businessman can look at an opportunity and say, wow, this is worth a lot, while someone else says that's a worthless thing. This is how basically you can take multiple books and someone could look at those books and the information in it and come up with an entirely new idea. All of this combines in an intelligent way, in an organized way, to create power, to create the thing that we call success. Because success is power, power is success. If we can intelligently, using our imagination, use the knowledge and create it and form it in an organized fashion, that's what we want. So that's why Einstein said imagination is more important than knowledge, because it allows us to think outside the box, allows us to intelligently create a blueprint to fit the building blocks of knowledge or information into, to create something entirely new and of way more value than the individual parts. It's kind of like the sum of the parts is greater than the individual parts if you add them up individually. That's the same thing with imagination. We have the building blocks of knowledge, and if we intelligently arrange that for a specific purpose in mind, then that can mean so much greater things. Let me give you a really clear example. This is a really interesting example that often comes up when I do research on this, and it's taking a simple material like steel. Okay, if you use steel, you can use it as a paperweight. All right, how much is that steel worth? Well, it could be worth, $1 or $2, right? All right, but if you form that steel into, say, paper clips, you could sell it a bit more. You can take that block of steel and sell it for maybe $50 in total. Let's say you take that steel and use your imagination. You say, well, that steel can be formed into really thin, sharp things and used in the medical field for needles. Okay, well now that value of steel has increased. It's the same material, but through the imagination, through organized knowledge, now it's used in a completely different way, in a way that can create even more value in a medical sense. It can save someone's life. Now you take that same steel and you can use that steel in a space shuttle or a spaceship. And again, that value goes even more. Or you can use in electronics. So you can see where I'm going towards. It's you take a simple material and using the mind, using the imagination, you can envision something that uses that material, that forms that material into something way more valuable. So I hope that was an inspiring lesson for you to understand the difference and which ones you really need to focus on. Obviously, you need the raw building blocks. So always develop your knowledge, but more importantly is the imagination, the vision. Because when you have the vision, there's always materials, there's always thoughts, there's always ideas out there, but you can arrange it in such a way, in an organized way, that creates immense amounts of success and power. All right? So have a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next video.